Okay, we'll make a start. We've got a lot to get through this morning. So, morning everybody, and welcome to January's Beco and Cleveland Business Network. And we hope you all had a great new year and a good break as well, although it did seem to go by very quickly as usual. Quite a lot of pre-announcements this morning. Karen sends her apologies. She co-manages the business network with us, but she's got some meetings this week, so she's got to get those done, so she's not here today, but I know she'll be watching. And something I mentioned a couple of times, but not formally, if you do come to the business network, please bring your leaflets and business cards. If you have a pull-up banner, if you're talking, you're welcome to bring it along. But if you've got leaflets and business cards, please bring them. All that we ask is that you take them away with you at the end, because what happens is this isn't our room, so they'll just get disposed of. So it's a bit of a waste because it costs a lot of money. So just please feel free to bring them, put them on chairs, but then just take them when you leave. For those who don't know me, my name is Darren Winter, and I'm the company director of Duco Digital. And along with Karen, we're volunteers who co-manage the business network. I have to print this and read this because there's so much I have to go through. So thank you to Beco and Cleveland Borough Council, because they provide the room and the refreshments and the underground car parking, which is free. And to Bead Financial, who support the website becoclevelandbusinessnetwork.com. All the events are recorded and they'll be available to watch again on social networks later today, and also on our YouTube channel and the website as well. There's no fire alarm evacuation planned, so if the alarm does sound, please follow the green running man out on the staircase, or follow the signs right out the door, and that's where the toilet's situated as well. Before moving on to today's agenda, Brexit's now going to happen, so that's been pretty much decided. So do have a look at the government website, gov.uk/Brexit. And although this won't affect everybody in the room here, there is an upcoming major change to the tax rules, IR35. That's going to come into effect from April. So it can affect mainly contractors, but there may be a few people here that might want to have a look at that. Definitely let anybody else know about the IR35 changes if you think it affects them. Speak to your accountant, get some professional advice, or just do a quick little bit of research. On the upside, the Google Digital Garage Tour is coming to Redcar Wednesday the 5th of February. They're delivering free training of 3 events. We're working with Ainsley from the Business Growth Team to deliver the event, and with Google, so it's a triple partnership. Going to be tuned in, it's free. The workshops cover everybody's knowledge from kind of basic beginner stuff through to advanced, so covering digital advertising, how to get onto Google, and doing some social media training as well. Tickets are available on Eventbrite, so just have a search on Eventbrite for the Google Digital Garage Tour. And because you've booked your ticket through Eventbrite, I'll be sending out a reminder for the Google Digital Garage Tour as well. You'll receive that probably today or tomorrow, so if you forget to look, I'll send an email out as well. Today's agenda, we know there's a lot of new faces here, but we're going to be doing a quick sort of 15-second elevator pitch. You're just going to stand up, say who you are, what you do, and what's great about you. We'll kick it off, so it makes it a little bit easier. You can see how it works. If you really don't want to do it, you don't have to, but it's just good practice to get people know who's in the room. Later on, towards the end of the event, you have any announcements, events or offers that you want to share, just save them to that point, and we'll give you an opportunity for you to talk about them. Guest speakers this month, we've got Ainsley Mullen, Enterprise Advisor from Beco and Cleveland Borough Council, who's going to be talking about the business support in the area. Johanna from Beyond Housing, who's going to be talking about the benefits of having an apprentice for your business, support for employers, and some of the funding options as well. And I'm going to talk through about how to start an e-commerce business and some of the pitfalls you might want to have a look out for. There's also an opportunity at the end to view the plans for the proposed redevelopment of the Regent Cinema, and that's just down on the ground floor, just to the right of reception. Okay, so that's a lot to get through. Okay, so we're going to start off this 15-second elevator pitch. I'll kick it off because I think everybody's still a bit groggy after New Year. So something like this. My name's Darren Winter. You know me already. Company Director of Duco Digital. Duco Digital, local marketing business. We provide digital marketing training, we create websites, social media, and all the way through to search engine optimization to help grow your digital business. So that's what we do. And I'll pass it over to Johanna.
Johanna an employer engagement officer for Beyond Housing. In English, that means I'll speak to employers, use my experience from having businesses with my family and also my career to try and help you find a way through really the minefield that is funding, where to look, or signpost you to one of the many partners in the room that I work with.
Okay, you're going to be, give yourself an introduction.
I'm Ainsley Mullen, and I don't want to spoil it too much, so I've got 10 minutes to fill in about 2 minutes. So, Enterprise Advisor, Redcar Cleveland Borough Council.
I'm Martin Wilson. I'm just starting out in property investing around the Redcar area for now. So I just thought I'd pop along and see who's here and see who can help us out or I can help them out.
To yourself, sir.
Yeah. And I'm Simon Cripps, Amber Street Consulting. I work with people, teams and organisations, organisational development, everything from individual coaching, team development, teamwork, strategy development for larger organisations, managing change, managing conflict. Been working in organisational development for many, many years. So thought I'd try and offer it out to the wider world. And I'll leave you with the last intriguing thing. I'm a Lego Serious Play facilitator, the magic of the bricks. My leaflets are up there if you want to find out more.
Morning everybody, my name is Kat Jarrett. I'm the owner of Dog School and the Canine Behaviourist and Trainer. I try to keep people on the right tracks for getting puppies so they don't end up going into rescue. I've sort of teamed up also with the wildlife birdwatch down, so how to train your dog not to disturb the birds. We're actually on Country House. I don't know if you've seen it. Need any more information, see it at the end. Thank you.
Should be coming late. Hi, I'm Amanda. I work for Redcar and Cleveland Borough Council and I coordinate our Foundation for Jobs programme, which is a programme for young people, creating opportunities for them and moving them into education, employment and training.
Morning everyone, Steve Prest. I'm the owner of Pure Health and Safety. Go around the country providing health and safety consultancy services, fire risk assessments, normal risk assessments, training. If you need anything, just give me a shout. Thanks.
Good morning, my name's Andrew Buchanan. I'm from Mabbott and Associates. We are safety and environmental consultants based over at MPI. We moved here in the last 6 months, so it's the first time I've been able to attend, which I look forward to hearing and meeting more of you and talking about maybe your environmental and decarbonisation needs and all that sort of stuff.
Morning everybody, my name's Kath Corbin. I'm a financial advisor. I work with a company called William Dixon Associates who represent a network called Open Work, and what I do is work with my clients to help them reviewing the finances. And one of the things I think, new year as well, people think, right, this year I'm going to do X, Y and Z, and one useful thing that I find is doing something called stop, start, continue, change, which is you produce a list of things, right, what am I going to do differently this year? And one of the things I try to get my clients to do is just review where they are financially, which is, this is where you are now, this is where you want to be, and what's the best way to get you there? And I need to do my tax return as well. Do all the calculations, just need to fill it in.
I'm worrying nothing.
So you're not different.
Mark Hodgson from Coaching Coaches. I'm the managing director there. We're in our 38th year in Cleveland. We provide anything from a car to a 70-seater, for anything from a home to school contract to a corporate event.
Andrew McElwee from Redcar and Cleveland College. I'm responsible for the commercial business development, which is connecting businesses with the college, making sure that we put on courses that the industry around here needs, and also access to many funding pots.
I'm Stan Glover. I'm retired and therefore do lots of work. I'm chair of governors at Errington Primary School, part of Teesside Family Trust. So I'm also going to look out for how education interacts with business. And as part of the trust, we take them right through to 18 years old. I'm chairman of the Mask United Supporters Club. So again, always looking for opportunities as well. Small businesses can engage with us and how we can promote Redcar and Cleveland on our travels. So that's the two main planks. I'm also a parish councillor, so I'm acutely aware of issues and how do we promote Salford in particular. Mask and new mask to keep that going forward and keep small businesses that bring revenue into the area
stand together. I'm Carol Bennett.
I'm Graham Bennett.
Together along with my sister June and her husband, we've just launched a business called Mr. Bentley's. The clue's not in the name, unfortunately, but it's a restored horse box bar, so it's kind of a mobile bar. We just launched in the summer there, and business was a bit slow, but we've picked up over the Christmas period, over December. We're available for private hire or for functions, for events. We've done the Victorian event up at Kirkleatham Village at the beginning of December. We're on the Primrose Bell, and we've also had a private event indoor, because we have 3 different bars. We have the Horsebox bar, we have a barrels and boxes feature for ale, and we also have an indoor bar, so we can come anywhere really. Yeah, after 24 years working in education, we decided to do something really different, my sister and I, and we've never been busier really trying to set all of this up. So it's just really about getting contacts and getting started. So that's why we're here today. Don't know whether you want to say anything.
No.
Thank you.
I sound quite foreign, thank you, but I'm Beth Van Hogan, work for Northern Skills Group, which is the training arm of Middlesbrough College. My job is to go out and speak to employees regarding their training needs, apprenticeships, full cost training, or anything you'd like to talk about. Right.
Morning guys, my name's Steve Richardson from Stardust Events and Stardust Photo Booths. We supply photo booths and gift booths for promotional corporate events and for parties, and we also supply corporate event and entertainment to across the country.
Hi, my name's Amy Crust. I run Jeff Crust Furniture with my dad Jeff. We're just round the corner, on the corner of Queen Street and Lobster Road near Seabreeze Fish and Chip Shop. We supply a wide range of new furniture for every room of your home and your garden, home accessories. We do a lot of Christmas decorations as well. And yeah, my dad's been there for 34 years this year.
Hi, I'm Dawn Smith, and like Amy, I can prove that we can run a good business in Redcar for a long time. We've owned and run the Claxton Hotel for 44 years in town now. We've got lots of new, exciting alterations coming this year. But my main message every month when I come is, if you book a hotel anywhere in the country, please book direct with them. Please don't use booking.com, hotels.com, Expedia, because they take huge commissions and they actually charge you more than the hotel would direct. The hotel would far rather give that money back to you than pay to them in the middle. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Nick and Marie. I'm from the Cleveland Mine for Mental Health Charity. We've been here in Redcar for, I think this is our 29th year. I'm Funding and Development Officer, and I run events such as Bark in the Park, which is coming up on the 4th of July, and also we've got Red January, which is currently running. So thank you.
I'm Nick Calvert as well, Enterprise Principal, one of the trainers and business advisors. We help people start, grow, develop the businesses. We offer support starting up. My colleague Maria's here, she'll talk about that a little bit more. And then we give support to businesses in the first year as well, fully funded. So anything from your branding up to doing your QuickBooks and all the stuff in between, we can help with that, 1-hour sessions. And then we offer a bunch of workshops as well, residential workshops for businesses of any age, any size, as long as they're SMEs. So if you need any help at all with your business, looking to develop Facebook if need be, social media, as I say, branding, we're the sort of people come talk to. Okay, thank you.
I'm Lola Ibadan. I work for Redcar and Cleveland Council within the Business Growth Team, supporting businesses with social focus who want to change something in the world, but trade whilst doing not just a charity. I work with Ainsley Mullen. I'm not going to say much about what we do because he's going to do a presentation shortly.
Hi, my name is Pamela Hadfield and I am More Than a Run. I do an introduction to running and fitness for beginners and returners, and we've just launched quite a few community challenges to get involved in, raising a bit of money for charity, so it's something that workplaces can actually enter teams for. individual challenges and company challenges.
Morning everyone, my name is Nick Rogers. I run Project Escape Limited, which is a live escape room business. If you think it's just a bit of a fad, we've been going for 4 years now, and we grow every year. In December we ran 200 games, including Ben Houchin, who came and brought his team for a team building. So it's great for team building, great for families. We have little kids up to grandparents in the same room, with their friends before they go out.
Morning everyone, I'm Darren Parker. I work for UKSA, former UK Steel Enterprise, based up at the Innovation Centre at Kirkleven Business Park. We offer managed office and workshop space, which is currently coming to the end of a refurb project, so we've got some relatively small 200 square foot offices available. Terms are easy and easy out, so you're not tied into any long-term lease. And we also offer investment funding as well, if anybody's interested, come and see us.
Morning, I'm Sharon Porter, run a property business in Redcar for about 20 years now, so interested in talking to Martin. At the moment, or for the last 18 months, we've been working a lot with people coming to the area to work, contractors, particularly working with British Steel. They're looking for particular accommodation for their Chinese directors who are coming over and working at the steel plant there. So we're looking to work with private landlords, other property investors to provide accommodation for those people. But also there's a growing need for shared housing for younger people, professional people, rather than taking on a whole tenancy. So looking at the development of that market.
Hi folks, my name's Brian Rowcroft. I'm a project lead for Dementia Friendly Wrekin Cleveland. The aim, I do Middlesbrough as well actually, but mainly for this meeting. The main aim of my role is to get businesses and organisations, and there's quite a few in the room that are already working to become dementia friendly. It's absolutely crucial with what's going on in the world of dementia that we get more and more businesses involved, supporting people living in the community.
Stu Simpson, I'm a work for Cleveland Fire Brigade Fire Safety Officer. Part of my role is fire safety. It's also I deal with consultations with building regs, licensing, complaints. We have like a bit of a health test that we work with from Hartlepool, where I work in headquarters. I'm also a response officer. When we've gone our flexi group, we turn out larger incidents. 28 years in the service, so quite a bit of experience. Played the firm, played football with Peter Beardsley, for all those who know him. Very, very proud to have been on the same. I was the captain as well, so maybe feel a bit better about it. So, if you need any fire safety things you want to talk about, your private landlord, stuff like that, give us a shout. We'll be here at the end if you need to. Thank you.
Good morning, George Shield, Cleveland Fire Brigade as well. I'm the fire safety auditor and I look after Redcar and Cleveland area. Stu's my boss. Right. And we have districts where auditors are based in, 4 auditors with the borough and then Hartlepool and Stockton. Headquarters is up at Stockton, but I'm actually based in Redcar. So for yourselves, I'm more your contact than he is, okay? And I have worked on, met a couple of people already in this room. By all means, please.
Good morning, I'm Mark Howard, I'm from Ainsley, and we're from Clean Green Recycling. Our business is rubbish, basically. We deal with anything to do with waste recycling, bins, skips, anything at all. You know, we can pretty much do most things. So if anybody needs any help, give us a shout.
Morning, I'm Andrew Rowe. I'm a partner in Baldwin's accountancy practice. We advise businesses of all shapes and sizes, from sort of small sole traders to large multi-million-pound businesses. I have a speciality personally in sort of cloud and digital and startup businesses. And my other role is with the North East Chamber. I'm the chairman of the Redcar Cleveland Business Group.
Morning everybody, my name's Lisa. I work for Jackson's Law. Jackson's offer private and commercial services to individuals and businesses. I work in the family law team with my colleague Heather. We offer something called collaborative law, which helps people going through divorce and finance to try and do it as amicably as possible. We also offer arrangements with own children, prenuptials, cohabitation agreements. Another part of the business is the commercial side of law, which is becoming ever prolific with the B word, Brexit. So we do commercial property, we do services for commercial firms, employment law services, litigation. So yeah, let us know if you have any queries. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen Norton. I'm based in Gisborough. changes, people are reviewing what they do, their circumstances have changed. Very often people have been through life events and want to change how they're living. So I work with them on a one-to-one basis, help them to review what they want to change, and assist them to do that. So basically the individual is the one doing the work, but I'm sitting alongside them, helping them to think it through and to take action. So you can find me at karennorton.com, and I'm also on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Morning everyone and Happy New Year. My name is Maria and we are Enterprise Made Simple, and Nick and I offer business support and mentoring from that initial business idea, supporting with the writing of a business plan, digital support, bookkeeping support, help to get that business up off the ground, and then support you moving forward to grow that business. We are based in the Palace Hope, so if anyone wants to have a chat, you can pop along and say hello and go from there. Okay, thank you.
Good morning, my name is Dean Coates from RCBC. We do lots of different things, but I mainly focus on transport for people getting to work. So if you need vans, cars, motorbikes, scooters, anything like that, we're the people to talk to.
Okay, that's great, fantastic. These are really interesting businesses and lots of new faces as well. It really is good to see who's in the room, and I think you can see a few connections happening there already. We're a couple of just minutes behind, but we'll catch up. So I think quickly introduce Ainsley, who's going to be talking about business support and business growth. Thank you, Ainsley.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ainsley Mullen. I'm part of the Business Growth Team at Redcar and Cleveland Borough Council. So my role is to help residents move into self-employment. So that can be a wide range of support available, and I'll move on to that a little bit further. The wider team supports existing businesses, we support social enterprise, we support inward investors, and we support really our whole business community. So if anybody's in business, feel free to contact our team. Personally, I also deliver enterprise events to schools and colleges within the borough. So what we're trying to do is support the next generation of entrepreneurs into self-employment and make them aware that self-employment is an option for them moving forward. So the criteria for my personal support is somebody who lives in the borough or somebody who's looking to start a business in the borough. I can also support businesses up to 2 years worth of trading. Now, that doesn't mean that our support stops after 2 years. I have a colleague called David Hitchin who can actually support in that field. And also, if I help the business start, generally I've created that relationship with them. So at the two-year point, I don't just hand them over. We kind of work together and we'll continue to work. I've had businesses who've been trading for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So what sort of support is available? Generally, when the call comes through to myself, it's a discussion. We have a chat about their needs, their kind of strengths and weaknesses. So for example, I spoke to Matt and Darren, and obviously with what they do, I'm not going to spend a lot of time teaching them about digital marketing. It's their field, they're experts, but it might be just connections that I could do with that particular business. It's a very bespoke service. We refer to a lot of partners. Enterprise Made Simple is one of our key partners. We also refer to MPI for certain support, and we do a lot of support, well, a lot of referral out of our team, because we feel that there's people with more resource, better placed, more equipped to actually be able to support the individuals on their journeys. Additional to the sort of business support that we do, what we also do is we also act as a single point of contact in the council. So say, for example, you've just took a premise and you're looking for kind of planning information. I'm not a planning officer, but what I can do is refer you to the right person in planning. For example, there's some micro bars opening up. If you wanted to kind of apply for a license, I can help you, I can signpost you to our licensing departments. There's also quite a lot of different funding and different sort of funding packages available. So we have funding via the High Street Support Scheme, and that's in a number of different elements. So what we've got is we've got the Bring Your Business To grant for new businesses looking to take premises in the borough. We've also got Sustainable High Streets for existing businesses. We've got Enjoy for with the enjoyment element. We've also got the spaces, so we're creating living spaces and accommodation. all the sort of finance packages usually link. So for example, we've got a high street support scheme, but you do need to fund the initial work yourself. So it might be, where do you raise that capital? Well, there's a thing called the Startup Loan Fund that you can use, and you can use that as a bridging loan. Now, I don't directly manage these pots, but it's my role to kind of get you ready to apply for those pots and see what the best fit is for your business. We can also help with property. So it might be that you're new to the borough, or you're looking to invest in the borough, and you're looking for, it might be a plot of land, it might be a building. Although we don't own a lot of sort of buildings these days, what we do know, we do have relationships with the landlords, we do have relationships with people who own the industrial units, and we can tend to point you in the right direction. What we do as well is we also run a lot of events, and I'll come on to the events a little bit later. So the process is quite straightforward. You know, if you contact myself, I'll just do a diagnostic. I'll have a chat with the person, see what their strengths and weaknesses are, and make sure we're getting the right support. Sometimes it's a mixture of support. Sometimes it's a lot of business planning support through Enterprise Made Simple, and then we refer to the High Street Support Scheme, and it works vice versa. You know, Maria will refer clients to me. We have a small grant that is there to remove barriers for those looking to move into self-employment. So it's very much partnership working. I haven't got all the answers, and it's all about using the strength of our partners to kind of support the message and the growth of our businesses. We would certainly look for the funding sources, and we would certainly help you with that sort of critical friend. So we would actually ask you about your business proposal. We would actually say, well, okay, how viable is it? You know, it's not just about us creating the businesses. It's about us having sustainable businesses. So what we look to do is challenge at the early stages so that the business proposal is more robust moving forward. We'll also look at looking at funding. We'll look at council-related inquiries, and we'll certainly look at sort of buildings and property if that's something that's right for the individual. We've got quite a lot of events coming up, and again, I take it from kind of our introduction sessions there. There's a lot of established businesses, so what I directly do is all the new and early stage support, but we do have support for existing businesses, usually through my colleague David Hitchin. I'm sure some people are aware of him, and my colleague also Lola, who deals primarily with social enterprise. Some of the events that we've got an event tomorrow. All these are available on an Eventbrite. I think they're definitely ones in the next couple of months. And that's about supporting new start, early stage businesses, people who are looking to kind of develop their idea. Then we've got Duco Digital Garage, which Darren's mentioned, and this is something that we really super excited about, something that we're supporting. Duco are doing a fantastic job with it as well, but there's a lot of moving parts, but this is really something that I can't stress as much how important it is to take advantage of. It's something that we're going to bring experts to the borough that can really add benefit to every business. It's really something that's going to be amazing. We've got our sort of flagship event, which is the Business Growth Surgery. So this is generally for established businesses. So what we do is we pull all providers under one roof. So if you're looking for funding, if you're looking for property, if you're looking for training, what we try to do is get everybody under one roof so you can have an appointment-based system. So you might speak to 3 people in an hour and a half, and those 3 people can massively add value to your business proposal. We look at kind of wider things from kind of Tees Valley Business Compass. We look at funding from different avenues also. So it's not just for pre-start, it's not just for established, it's an event where you get half an hour of quality support and advice from individuals who can really add benefit to your business. We've also got a social enterprise event at the Wilton Centre, which my colleague Lola is leading on, and that's about bringing social enterprises and other businesses together to work together. Lola will definitely have more information on that one than I. We've also got some of the Redcar and Cleveland Enterprise Challenge, so this kind of goes back to some of the other work that I do as far as creating the next generation of entrepreneurs. Currently we've got schools around the borough who are working on an enterprise challenge. So this is all about getting younger minds thinking about what are the aspects to running my own business, how do I need to think about the finance, how do we link the things that we're learning at school to actually running a business. And this is all key generational things that we can put in place, and hopefully our Redcar and Cleveland Enterprise Challenge will be something that adds legacy, that we can roll year after year and help the generation moving forward. And on the back of that, we've also got a 2D Yorkshire event. I hope majority of people are aware of the opportunities with 2D Yorkshire. There's going to be an event where we engage with local businesses. because we don't actually know how it looks at the minute. We don't actually know what the opportunities are, but there's definitely going to be an event where we engage with local businesses to see how we can maximise the potential for our business community. All our events, and that's only kind of a whistle-stop tour of the events that we've got, are on our website. So if there's any information that you'd like, any further information, please look at redcarcleveland.co.uk and then it's /business for the sort of things that we offer. There's a lot of sort of bespoke packages. Things change in business support. One minute we can help people. The next minute, if there's funding, we can tag onto that. It's all about keeping those relationships going. So if there's my colleague Lola attends the forum on a regular basis. If you speak to Lola and it's something that sits with me, Lola will pass it to me. We'll pick it up. We'll work with you. We just want to kind of say that, look, we're passionate about business. We want to support you all as moving forward as much as we can. Thanks for this. I don't know if you've got questions, or I'm around if anybody wants any questions. Or
Anybody any questions they'd like to ask now? Okay. Yeah, but Ainsley and Lola will be around at the end. If you want to ask something a bit more sort of in confidence, then please speak to them after the event. There's about like 20 minutes, 25 minutes of networking time. Thanks very much, Ainsley.
Thank you.
I'm just going to swap over and going to introduce Johanna from Beyond Housing. Who's going to talk to us about apprenticeships.
I'm done.
Hope it's not going to work. Over to you.
So good morning. Just like Ainsley, it's really lovely to feel the passion in the room from a lot of organisations like mine and the partners that I already work with. I think we're quite fortunate in Redcar and Cleveland with the funding and support that's available. I've worked in other parts of the country and unfortunately some areas it's just not there. So I feel quite excited to be part of the movement, if you like. So, where am I from? Beyond Housing, some people don't even know what that is now. But Beyond Housing was formed as a result of a merger in October 2018, and we actually own over 15,000 properties. We cover 411 square miles as a result of our merger now. Quite a lot of our stock is Redcar and Cleveland, and we have over 33,000 customers. The legacy companies that you may have heard of, and I hope you have, were Coast and Country and Yorkshire Coast Homes. And we've delivered employability initiatives since 2010 and probably before. As an organisation, one of our drivers is that we don't just want to provide a house for people to live in, we feel that's easy. What we want to do is to support our communities to succeed and thrive, and that's achieved in many ways, not just our employability programmes. So what I'm really asking today is, let's talk. I might not be able to help you directly, and as Ainsley said, as organisations that have funding, we're part of something called the Working Together Partnership for Redcar and Cleveland. And as I said, I've worked in other parts of the country where if you're writing a bid, you put, oh yeah, we work together, yeah, we all communicate together, and actually you don't. It does what it says on the tin here. There's lots of people in this room, I talk to you every day, to try and find the right solutions to support businesses in the best way and that works for you. I've just recently helped Duco Digital actually, and it wasn't easy, I think I'll be fair, to have the lovely Jamie start with them, who started this week, so we're really pleased about that. But I'd like to talk to you just to see that, you know, if you're going to be recruiting, think of local people, what's on your doorstep. Every local business has a purpose. You've created a business in Redcar and Cleveland and you've chosen that area specifically. Why not make sense in recruiting from that area as well? Invest in local people. So when you're thinking about if you need people for your business, it doesn't matter how many employees you need. You might even be thinking about one. And like my family businesses, when we do everything, it's quite a nerve-wracking time to think I need to commit to a member of staff, and I'm at that point where I'm just struggling, but in order to grow I need to commit to employing someone. Where do I start? So, like Ainsley says, I can be a critical friend and talk through that using my own experience as well as my professional experience and the partners in the room. When do you need them? If you can tell me as far in advance as possible, and lots of people were talking about planning for 2020, I've got a big to-do list and I'm going to change the world. Quite often you'll plan that in and you'll know ahead of schedule. And I can utilise the partners' funding, our own funding, to maximise basically your resources and save you time and money. We can also help you with any temporary staff, one-off staff, maybe with the skills that you need. So I was listening to the lovely couple there, Carol and Graham, about their horse box bar. We run a hospitality academy as one of the sectors that's growing. So if you wanted a candidate come and work for you for a specific event that had food safety qualifications, cocktail making qualifications, personal licence even, we could supply that free of charge. Maybe you're not in a position to have a paid staff member, but you'd like to invest in the skills that we have locally. So you might be able to offer some work experience. And again, I work with partners, sometimes Job Centre Plus. Tina's at the back of the room. Give us a wave, Tina. And other organisations to make that happen for you. So I like to think we're more than just recruitment. It's not just about a recruitment agency, it's more about the social value that we can all provide. So, what's my approach? What's our approach? We listen. So it doesn't matter if you're talking to me about recruitment or you want to grow your business or you want to find an apprenticeship provider locally in a particular subject. I will go away, just like Ainsley does and other people in the room, go away and speak to the partners and give you a choice of people, saving you time of researching all of that information. Together we find that solution. I come on that journey with you, as Darren, Jamie and Matt can probably testify to recently, but I will be part of that journey with you, and not just at the point of solution. I'll stay with you and build on that relationship. Basically, it's about your resources, your time, and having that support. It can be quite lonely running a business, especially if you're self-employed. You need to interact with people. So, as I said, it doesn't matter if you need 1 or 100 people. We've provided staff over the last 3-4 years, our biggest project, anything from an apprentice starting at a relatively new company to work experience for a sole trader, right the way through to supporting organisations like McDonald's UK with their new site opening in Skelton. We did all of their recruitment, their campaign, and provided 65 staff for that new site opening. But again, we can't do that alone. We work with partners to do that. Job Centre Plus we work with for McDonald's. We also work together for sites over there like B&M. I work with Northern Skills to be able to provide apprenticeship solutions, and also Tees Valley Combined Authority to maximise funding for you to make things happen. We work, as I said, with local people. All of our candidates live in Redcar and Cleveland. So the people that you're going to have in your business are on the doorstep. They're happy to travel, they're very keen. Most of them are on our programme because they want to be. They volunteer themselves to improve their skills, to improve their job prospects. We build relationships with the candidates. We get to know them, we get to know their lives. Quite often we're providing the home that they live in, but more often than not, my advisor team, we've got 7 advisors in our team, they work very much one-to-one with that individual. So you find out parts of someone's life that are not necessarily related to the employment, and you have to attack and deal with those first before they're even job ready. So hopefully we do all of that work before they're even presented to you, and I act a bit like a gatekeeper. I'm not that hard on it. I then try and match you, so I come and get to know about your business, and I'm pretty good at it, I'd say, but I spend time, so you might think that I'm sat there in the corner just drinking a cup of tea, but I'm trying to see how your business works, what your culture is, what your values are, and I try and find someone who's akin to those. You can trial candidates free of charge, so I'm not taking it away from you, I'm not saying who you need to have. I'm just saving you time for things like, I always hear from employers that say, I put an ad on Indeed and I just can't cope with the response. Most people are unsuitable, there's not a CV attached, I haven't got time for this. So I kind of will do that job for them. I think support and aftercare are very important. Quite often you'll find that you'll go to someone maybe and say, I need a member of staff. They say, there you go, and you don't hear from them again. And I think that's really when you need the support, is when you first got someone or you're trying to settle them in. And again, as been said numerous times this morning, that critical friend that you can just call and say things like, you know, Johnny's had a day off sick on his second week. What do you propose I do? Well, you know what to do, or you may know what to do as far as HR rules are concerned, but from an employee support role, we can work together with you to see, is it a genuine reason? So I had a candidate just at the end of last year whose mother was really ill, and he phoned in sick because he wanted to go with his mum to a hospital appointment, and he didn't want to tell his employer. He thought that that wouldn't be allowed, so he rang in sick instead. We managed to speak to him, explain to the employer, and the employer said, that's fine, I've got no problem, go to other appointments with your mum. We can make up the time, we can work that out. And then that forges their relationship and helps them build rapport. So quite often we can overcome things at the first stage. We can source and fund financial support for you, and it's all about getting that candidate off to the best start. We deliver a lot of pre-employment training, so again, saves you time and money. As I said, we have a hospitality academy. We run a security academy, so for SIA qualified staff. We deliver regular courses in things like first aid, health and safety, all of those things that as a small business that can really, you know, impact your resources early on. So if you can have someone almost pre-packaged or halfway there before you start, that makes you a better employee. The financial support is something that goes on quite a lot. There's a few different funds out there. As Ainsley said, it changes daily. Always speak to me. It's what's there at the time. I will always challenge things, or I'll always see why can that be combined? Is there any reason why you're not eligible? So I will push that for you. What's good at the moment is we have a fund at Beyond Housing called a Job Start Payment. It's £500 for any job role, so not just an apprentice. It's any job role you create for 16 hours a week or more. When I came into this role, Beyond Housing said to me, what do you think's missing? And I said, as a small business owner myself, you create part-time roles. There's nothing to support that. You know, that's something that our economy is built on, part-time roles, people building hours to become full-time. How are they supposed to start that? So we've created a job start payment which allows you that time. You can use it for whatever you like. It's payable after the first 4 weeks of that employee starting. It's a very simple agreement that you say they've worked 16 hours over the first 4 weeks. And you can use that either to offset your time, send them on a course maybe that's a specialism to your particular profession, or just boost your bank balance with it for use of a rainy day at a later stage. As well as that, sometimes apprentices are probably the most lucrative financially at the moment in the borough, with the push to have more apprentices and skills. So I've recently worked with many companies where we can combine those payments. So at the moment, routes to employment at Redcar and Cleveland Council, you may be eligible for a payment there. You may be eligible for hours as well, and you may be eligible for Tees Valley Combined Authorities funding. So those actually can be combined at the moment because they don't clash. But quite often people don't know that until I tell them or help facilitate that and put you in touch with those funders. And then the aftercare, as I call it, is about, we will continue to support the candidate that we place, so their advisor, as I said, in my team, will continue to be a point of contact for them, and I will continue to be your support at least 6 months into that person's employment. I can sit in the background, I won't bug you every day and ring you up, but I'm there should you need anything, should you want to talk anything over. And hopefully you continue that relationship with me, as many do, year on year, to provide the staff that they need or to really add value to their recruitment process. So thank you very much for hearing me bang on very early in the year. Hopefully everyone's awake now. If anyone's got any questions, you could ask them to me now, or please have a chat with me at the end of the event. But thank you for listening to me.
And for both organisations, really for Johanna, because I have to say she worked so hard to help get Jamie into Duco, and there are lots of different funds, and I think we all know how difficult forms can be filling in and different rules and people not committing up front. So it's difficult to know, like you're trying to plan in advance and you don't know the outcome of the funding until you actually take the person on, and it's very difficult. So Johanna's done a great job for us, so please go and speak to her if you think about getting an apprentice. And the same for Ainsley, because we spoke with Ainsley Business Growth Team before we even started Duco Digital many moons ago, and he encouraged me to take the final push to get it going, get it started. But also they're equally there, like later on when your business changes, like you might need a bit more help, you might need just a bit more support before you move into a different field, so please go and take advantage and speak to them. I know we are a little bit behind, but I do have a presentation here for e-commerce. But if you do need to leave at any stage, please understand you've got a business to run as well. So if you need to go, please go. But I won't dwell too much with this. But I hope it's helpful as well. So this is about just getting started with e-commerce. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but hopefully this is going to be really useful. If you're not even just doing it at the moment, you're thinking about it later on, is a few tips and best practices that I think that you should know about. Okay, so we're a nation of shoppers, and this statistic shows that out of 12 EU countries, the top 12 EU countries, the UK has the highest amount of people buying online. This figure was estimated, it's fairly recent, so 76 £billion is spent online, or projected to be spent online in 2019. You can see the curve going up here. So this is really why you should be looking at doing e-commerce. I think that kind of speaks for itself. But I think that before you even say, well, I'm just going to get started, you need to have a plan. And you heard Ainsley say beforehand, you need to get a business plan together, okay? Now this doesn't need to be anything particularly elaborate or, 10, 20 pages long. It could even just be, back of an envelope, just something you've got a little bit of a guide to get you started. But that's the business growth team are there to help formulate a business plan with you. But why do you need one? You need to give you some direction. Things going on 24 hours a day, it's like you forget where you're going, so it gives you some direction. But you may also need it for finance and grants later on. So if you start off with this, it'll pay dividends later on. It'll also tell you if it's a viable business or not. And also you can have a look at the risks. So when you're doing a bit of research to go into your business plan, part of it you need to be looking at trends, the fashions. It's fast paced, e-commerce changes very, very quickly, particularly if you are into fashions or anything that's kind of related like that. The colour of the year might be sort of purple this year, but next year it could be blue. And if all your clothing line is purple, then you're going to need to change it and get it sold off quite quickly. I thought it might be interesting to highlight that clothing and household goods are the biggest sectors selling online, and followed by hotels, restaurants, travel plans and tickets. So inside the plan, what are the things that you should be thinking about? Well, what problem are you trying to solve? Okay, so what are you selling? What's unique about your product? Why people should buy from you? Why is it better than anything else that's out there? So talk about your unique selling points. Have a look at your target market, audience demographic, so age, sex, gender. It goes down deeper than that as well. This is just the top ones, but also have a look at your competitors. Okay, and we'll talk a bit about that in a couple of slides time as well. There'll be a sales and marketing heading. What channels are you going to think about using? So that could be in terms of your social media channels, but also what you're going to be selling on, what platforms you're going to be using. Okay, and again, we'll talk about that shortly. And usually you expand that into a marketing plan a bit later on, but for the moment we're just looking at the business plan. And then financial projections, and in here it's kind of not just your turnover, what you're going to be selling, but for e-commerce, the biggest kind of areas that people tend to fall down on is things like shipping. Shipping can be a massive loss to your business if you don't get it right. So if you're selling like heavy goods, so who's going to be shipping it, when can they turn it around, how much is it going to cost, what happens if it needs to be returned, what happens if it gets damaged, how much is it going to cost you to advertise it, market it. If you're importing from abroad, you might have taxes, all the packaging, everything's got a cost to it. Your time, if you need to take it to a post office, again that needs to be factored in, who's going to be doing it. Have a look at milestones, goals that you want to be achieving through the year. So you might be starting off small, but then your plan might be to introduce new goods and services. It might be that you're going to be diversifying into a different market. So you might start off with ladies' clothing, and then you might go then into men's clothing, or you might do ladies' fashion, then ladies' sportswear. So those are a good couple of examples to have a think about. Think about the team, your experience as well. Be honest with yourself, what you're good at and what you're not good at, and then build your experience around you. So speak to, partners like today, if you're not good on HR and employability or business, make sure you speak to people to fill the gaps. And also, the partnerships here is a little bit different than experience. So like these groups are great because you identify people that may be able to help you later on in the year as well. Inside the plan, visualise the journey of the products you're selling. What I mean by this is that write down each of the steps. So you've got where you're going to get the product from. Are you making it? Are you buying it in? Who are you buying it from? Are they the in-between people? Are they getting it from somebody else? So look at the supply chain, okay, and then look at the journey for the customer. So you might be buying goods in, and then you need to store it somewhere, and then who's going to be storing it? How do you get that stuff out? So all those will have little different steps. So visualise the journey, write it down into a workflow. Another tip is that you should have an estimate of how much your good or services at this stage is going to be when it's shipped or delivered, okay? And we're linked to step 7 for the costs for that. Just notice the numbers aren't in order. I missed them out, so I'll tidy it up before I put this online. Look at competitor e-commerce websites. So list the features, the physical and the services that you like and what you don't like. And then look at what your business needs, okay? All this goes into your business plan, okay? And this list of wish lists that we've just mentioned here is going to be helpful later on, because when you go to decide your platform, you'll know the features you're looking for. Very often people look at the platform first. I'll go and sell on eBay, I'll go and sell on Amazon, but you're not seeing all of the different options, and then at this stage you're not marrying up actually what you really need and what you like and what you don't like. We'll look at some of the areas that you could lose out here, but typically things like Etsy has high costs in terms of referrals, so you might be looking about losing about 30% of your overall turnover on that. So things like Big Cartel, it's free to start with, and they're just £10 a month, and you just get basic options like to sell online. And then when you want to sort of power up, you have your own business, you've got things like Squarespace, which we operate on and which we encourage our customers to use. But there's Shopify, there's Amazon, eBay, there's lots of different solutions out there. And again, Facebook Marketplace is a great place to start as well. Again, it's quite low cost. Add up all the costs to sell on the platform that you're looking at. And as I said, there are hidden costs, so things like commissions or transaction costs. So it could be maybe about 3%. Doesn't sell a lot. It doesn't sound a lot, but that's 3% on top of all your other costs to run your business as well. And you've got card processing charges. Could be 1.5%, could be up to 4% if you're using PayPal. And there'll be other maybe transactional hidden fees there as well. So add that all up at this stage and add this into your business plan. And at this point, is it profitable? Can you get a better deal? Look at another platform, adjust the pricing model of the business. If you're going too cheap, you might need to look at different products or increase your price a little bit. And here's the customer journey, and I think this is probably just as important as the business plan. If you don't look after your customers on the platform, this is where you're going to be losing people out. So I'll cover a few things here, but what does the customer journey look like? When they get to your website, what do they see? What do you want them to see, and what are they going to be seeing? Is it going to be a nice big hero image? Who's going to be taking the image? Where does that come from? If it's product photography, it's not as simple as just using just your iPhone. It needs to be expanded onto the screen. It's going to look either professional or it's going to look homemade. And if you're selling professional services, you've got to invest in good photography. Can the platform be used on all the devices? 61% of people are using Google to find businesses now on mobiles. So if your platform doesn't really work very well on mobiles, then that's definitely a critical area you need to be focusing on. How they're going to browse your products? Is it categories? How they're going to buy the products? Add it to the basket. Think about Amazon, one-step click, it's in your basket, you've ordered it, and it's been shipped. So make it easy for your customers to buy. And things about abandoned carts, people very often now quite clever, they'll add things to a cart, leave it, and see if you're going to send them an automatic email to give them a discount. So is that in your plan? Because that's how people shop now in the UK. They're a lot more clever and astute than we give them credit for. Think about discounts, refunds, and the procedure for sending back faulty and damaged goods. People aren't always trustworthy, and now very often I think like some of the rules that we'd seen for businesses when you're buying discount clothes on different like sporting websites, and that you can buy stuff and you can return it, but if it's a discounted product, you'll only get store credit, for instance, not a full refund. So things like that you need to be aware of that could really affect your business. And these couple of things here, beware of card chargebacks. People forget about this as well. Frauds, you need to put that into your business plan. I think it's up to 180 days that the customer can come back to the credit card company and say that isn't my transaction, dispute it, and you may lose the money. Okay, so you need to factor that into your business. And beware of free shipping. None of us like paying for shipping. So again, if you do give away free shipping later on to get more customers through, you need to kind of accommodate for that somewhere in your financial plan. Okay, hopefully I've not covered that, gone over it too quickly, but has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask about e-commerce? I didn't think there would probably be many. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention on that. I did promise I was going to throw out a couple of minutes of time for people to talk about events. Has anybody got anything they'd like to promote or shout about? I know there's a couple of things going on. Lola, you've got something you want to shout about tomorrow?
Yes, Ainsley, help shout. We're running a joint workshop for people starting their own businesses. It might not be yourself, it could be your employee, family, neighbors, anybody. It's open at Tuned In from 9:30 to 11:30. Please register on Eventbrite. We welcome you to drop in, but we prefer that you register. Thank you.
Nick, you've got a new escape room, haven't you?
We have, but it's not until February, so.
Oh, well, February then, coming up then.
February, I'll tell you.
Right, okay then, keep an eye out for that.
Can I just mention the challenges again? On More Than a Run, we've got some challenges that you can sign up to. And I've noticed there's a lot of people will go onto the internet, they're quite happy to sign up to a lot of virtual challenges. Oh yes, get a shiny medal. I'll sign up to it, but it's all money that's going out of the area. So what I'm trying to do is get people to sign up to local challenges. You're getting out, you're meeting everybody, you're raising money for charity at the same time, and then that money's going back into session delivery. So it's keeping it all local rather than disappearing off. So I can just pop some leaflets out if anyone wants to take one. Thank you.
Nick? You normally got something going like mines. Come on.
Red January, although obviously we're well into January, it's the 8th, isn't it? You can still join in Red January. It's on our website. rcmind.org, and people can join in. You don't have to fundraise, a lot of people are, but you don't have to, you can still participate. And,
Fabulous, thank you. Anybody else?
I've just got a question for the new startup for tomorrow. I've already got an existing business, but I'm looking to start a new business. Would that, because I've already got an existing business, would that class as a new start?
Yeah, we will talk to any sort of form of business, and if it's not just me, we've got a team of people who can
So
help.
it'd be worth coming tomorrow.
Yeah,
to that event,
yeah. It's all about kind of thinking about the planning stages, talking about kind of finances, and sometimes in a group, in a workshop, you get other people's opinions. You automatically get feedback from people who might potentially be your target market. So there's loads of different sort of platforms, but certainly if you've got a business and you're looking to start a new business, you wouldn't be sort of excluding that.
That's great, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Just Enterprise Made Simple, still doing the growth weekends, residential weekends, non-residentials at Ackham Hall as well. So there's one at the end of this month, one in February and March. We're offering sort of level 2 qualifications, so it's good for staff development, as well as level 3s as well. Help things sort of your pitch deck, looking for funding on the commercial side of things. So if anybody's interested in that, looking to grow the business even more, grow the profits, it's Enterprise Made Simple.
Fabulous. And any other events, do tag us in. I know there might be a problem with Facebook not tagging us in properly, so if you do tag us in and you're not sure if we picked it up, just drop us a message and then we'll look out for it and we'll search it on the page and make sure we share it onto our Facebook page. Thanks very much to all our guest speakers today, Ainsley, Johanna, for talking. I hope you found the event useful as well. Just on the back of what Ainsley mentioned about the Tour de Yorkshire, the next Redcar Cleveland Business Network event on Wednesday the 5th of February, that will be solely about Tour de Yorkshire. I don't think it's the one that I think this will be a separate council one, but the event will be hopefully having Tour de Yorkshire here, and also representatives from the council as well, talking about the event, starting, stopping, and more idea about the plans. But we're going to be in the big chamber next time, so we're going into the grown-up room, into the adult room. So, but it basically there's a lot more space in there as well, so hopefully we're going to get a few more people. So please bring people along. It's a very important event for the area. We need to maximise it. There's national press coming through. Karen, who's kind of helped organise this part of the event, I'm sure she's got a bit more to say about it, but do look out for it in the emails on the social as well. Don't forget downstairs to have a look at the plans for the Regent Cinema, and then just use the remaining time to have coffee and have a chat with each other. Thanks very much. Have a good one.